The bottom line is people are fearful of the unknown.
That's the major thing that has to be addressed. We have to teach about gender, because people they think just because you're born with a penis, you're a man, and that's not true.
At first, my partner was this person, and now my partner goes by another name, different pronouns, so I get kind of lashed for that.
He's a person just like everybody else is a person, and he just wants people to see him for how he sees himself.
Welcome back to Living Life Aurora. I am your host, Aurora Jonez, and tonight I have in the building with me the individuals behind the documentary Assigned Sex. Taken from the GLAAD website, transgender is an umbrella term often used to refer to people whose gender identity differs from their assigned sex at birth. What prompted you guys to actually do the documentary? What were the events that led up to you deciding, okay, this is what we're going to do?
I have a few transgender friends, and I've always been curious just what led up to their transition, what made them want to come to that point. And most of my transgender friends, once they transition, they pretty much cut themselves off. They isolate themselves. And I felt there aren't any transgender mentors out there. So I started doing my own research. I wanted like a peek in. I started YouTubing, Googling, and I came across some research done back in 2010, and the suicide rate among the transgender community was at 42% in 2010. And I was like, that is crazy. And I feel that that's because these individuals are finding themselves by themselves.
We all have a story, and everyone's story is unique. And I feel that me putting my story out there is not only showing that we are the same as everybody else, but also that we all have a voice. We're not a disease. We're not stigmatic. You know, there's more to us than what meets the eye, and that needs to come out to the light no matter what generation you come from, because that's an excuse that's been down for too long.
Word generation, I don't give them. So we're just like, this is me, get with the program.
Swag brother, swag brother, swag brother. Shawty gotta
be. If you're a dude, you get more respect as a girl dressing like a dude than as a man dressing like a woman. Because, I don't know, I guess it's because of media.
Our stories need to be heard. Our stories need to be out there. So I not only agree to do this for that reason, but also to inspire.
Transgender, they're usually seen as a taboo. It's not openly accepted just yet. Lesbian, gays, and bisexuals, they're much more out there. Everybody knows of them. The transgender community sticks to the nightlife of New York City, basically.
There's always that pressure. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a boob job. Okay, what else? Oh, do I want big hips? Oh, do I want Nicki Minaj hips, or do I want, you know, Mariah Carey breasts?
It's kind of unique, I guess.
Who you are, if you're male or female, has nothing to do with what's your preference or who you choose to deal with or date on an intimate level.
Probably wouldn't date you guys anymore.
Not attracted to men?
Nah. I do date men and females. Though I've never been in a serious relationship with a man, I do find that I'm curious to date one. I've been with predominantly women, but I've always had a slight attraction to men, so you know, I wouldn't mind it. And I don't limit where you know, you can possibly find love. Love is limitless.
When, you know, females transition to males, they're like, oh, they want to have sex like a guy.
It's kind of awkward. I've actually, people have asked me, I don't understand, a bisexual, transsexual.
I remember telling her, like, I just don't feel like a complete lesbian. I felt like there was something more. Like, I felt, I guess, like a boy. For a while, we wrestled with this idea, like, does this not make me a lesbian? Does this make us a heterosexual couple? Like, we were trying to find a language for our relationship.
Don't do it because you see other people doing it. Do it because you're being true to yourself, and make sure you have a support system. You know, you realize that you don't have to go through certain things alone. Do it with no regrets. Don't, you know, limit yourself because of family, because of friends, because if they really love you, they're gonna love you for who you are, and they're gonna keep loving you because of who you are.
As a child, I've always heard the term LGBTQ, and I never knew what the T and Q stand for. I always knew the L, G, and the B. I did not TQ, I was like T and Queens. I didn't know what it meant, and even when I got older and I was kind of researching transgenderism, that for me still didn't feel like transgenders were part of that community.
There's politics between the LGB as well. That's different than the politics with the trans community.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So there's an internal, the reason why the education is hard is because we're talking about gender. We're not talking about sexual orientation.
A lot of my activism is teaching my students about gender and sexual orientation.
I was always a girl, either which way. So I don't say I made her, I say I helped. Because, I don't know, she was always that way. It was never like, to me, like when she told me she was going to do the whole change or whatnot, I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, so well, the first thing I asked is, what's your name going to be? The name
Remember the first one?
I was like, no, you're not going to have that name. You're not going to walk around with me.
I was supposed to be Leilani.
They usually ask what's in my pants. You know, do you have a penis? And right there automatically is a turn off, because to me, that means you're measuring somebody by their genitalia as opposed to who they are as a person.
As bad as it sounds, I think you have to be somewhat selfish in doing this, because at the end of the day, this is like, you have to be comfortable with who you are for the rest of your life. So you have to, when you do this, you have to really be thinking about yourself. I know family matters, friends matters, and all that stuff, but really, it really comes down to yourself.
That I've gotten a lot from lesbian. You're just trying to forget the women in you, and you're just trying to be with the oppressor, which are men in today's society. And so they want us to climb. They feel like we're trying to rise out of our women oppression by becoming men.
So Jalen, how does it feel, or how do you deal with going from someone who maybe society sees as non-threatening to being a black man in America, which is not easy?
It's not. It's very hard. You know what? Because you hear James Brown's song, "It's a Man's World," and it took me a while to get that. Like, that sounds so chauvinistic.
Track slammers. Swag brother, swag brother, swag brother. Shawty gotta be bad. Shawty gotta be super bad. Shawty with that cute face, Lala with that tight waist. You should come over to my place so I can lay it down. So I can lay it down. So don't play around.
Let me tell
hair, face, whip, nails, clothes, outfit. Men, you could go without a haircut, get a haircut, look like whatever, shave, not shave, not shave, look a mess, suit up, go to an interview, get a job.
And it's gonna be some woman that's gonna be with you.
Exactly, but you know what?
I'm just feeding into it now.
You or me?
Yeah, you co-sign like hell. You're supposed to be neutral.
Listen, because it's women, it's trans or biological, we go through the same thing.